Hey, peace is Brother Polight. And this is just a quick installment I was building with a sister. And so she said, Polight, you need to really go live on this polygyny. Now, she supports me. She's like, I want you to go live. I'm like, nah, I don't like doing that. I'm like, at this particular moment, I don't like to do too much polygyny classes because it encompasses so much. I be wanting to do a course, but I don't want to take the time out and do a course and people don't realize the significance of it as far as the restoration of our community. And it's not the type of thing I feel like debating people about, because it's not a debate. Okay. Okay, so peace to the family. Huh? Oh yeah, you know Michelle Obama here. Yeah, this is not a game out here. Yeah, Michelle Obama's over here, so you know, them boys, they not playing. Oh shit, thanks. Why is the light on? It won't come off either. That's crazy. I can't even turn it off. It won't let me turn it off, I guess because Facebook's on. But yeah. Well, it's not that it's a hard subject. Let me say that. It's not that it's a hard subject. People want to make it difficult. Oh, I'm on Facebook right now. And the title is, if I had one wife, I would feel like I'm in prison. That's the title? That's the title. You know, because I was building with a sister today. She support me, but she like, yo, you need to really do the polygyny joint. And I'm like, nah, because I ain't really with, you know when they say what's understood don't need to be explained? I believe that's about polygyny. So I explain everything else but that, because I be feeling the way when people be acting like, I would have no issue if people leaned on homosexuals the same way, but they forget this is a sexual preference, you know. And I'm explaining to people, you might have a preference for thick women, you might have a preference for tall women, you might have a preference for short women. I have a preference for multiple women. That's my sexual preference. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, hey, what's up, man?
That's good. I heard you guys talking about tricks, okay?
Tricks?
Girls. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No,
oh, you said...
Stick this. Okay? I met this guy, okay, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And he looked like the Buddha. And I went up to him and said, you look like the Buddha? He said, no, my name's Buddy, okay? And I asked him a question I've asked many guys before. What makes a girl great in bed?
What makes a girl great in bed? We got to get these.
Like, to me, like, it's like my answer to that. 3 things. You want a girl who's got the equipment. In other words, you know, some guys like SUVs, minivans. I like sports cars, 2-seaters with big headlights. Okay?
Right. Leave it to the white man. Leave it to the white man with his analogies.
He loves to fuck. And the last thing, you want a girl who's fucking nuts. This is where you get 3-4 girls in one. But this guy, this Buddha guy, he gave me an answer no one ever gave me. You know what he said?
What he said?
You want a girl that gets this thing going. That's what he said.
Girl, to get this thing going.
I think I was 85.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Let's go.
Anyone that can chef up, I'm with it. That's what he's saying.
Well, we almost 1,000 people deep in here, so we about to. I see y'all interested, but yeah. So when I'm building with the sister on live, you feel me? I'm building with her on live, and then it's almost like a double dog dare to build. So what I'm saying is, if I was subjected to a lifestyle where I could only be with one woman, I wouldn't be the lovable Brother Polight that I am today. The Brother Polight that just say, man, I love his spirit, I love his energy, I love his zeal. I wouldn't have that, because it's the women in my world that give me that. Now, many people misconstrue the fact that because I have multiple wives, it means that I'm discontent with my first wife, or I'm discontent with my second wife, or I'm discontent with my third wife, or I'm discontent with my fourth wife. No, or I'm discontent with the woman I'm courting. No, none of that is true. None of that is true. Okay? What this means is I'm dealing with a sacred art and science. And that's why I don't like to build about it. You know why? Because if I say polygyny is a sacred art and science, then guess what people are going to say? Oh, you just using the doctrine to convince these women to be this way, that way, and y'all don't give women credit. Y'all would like to believe all these women are dumb that's in this relationship. Y'all say things like that, right? And then the women that say these women are dumb and the men that say these women are dumb, I look at the women I'm with who have their own homes, their own vehicles, their own businesses. They can travel at their leisure. Okay? They're above poverty level. Okay? They're above those poverty lines of $15,000 a year for an individual or $32,000 a year for a family of 4. They're making more than the poverty lines than for a family of 4. Not to mention, not only are they above the poverty lines as far as income, they still have my support as a man. Yet, for some reason, they're the dumb ones. Because many of you will say, well, I'd rather not have no time for myself, and I'd rather not have that much money for myself, and I'd rather not have the freedom to educate my children. I'd rather be single, right? Or in a monogamous relationship that you're dissatisfied in. Now, I'm not saying this is for everybody. I'm saying for everybody to also respect me, because I respect you. I know a lot of women who, like, I don't hang out with them, but I know a lot of women in general that they will sleep around. They'll stay single and sleep with different men. And they're accepted in society. Women who's like, oh, I'm going on dates. Oh, you had a one-night stand. You feel what I'm saying? Those women are respected until they get into an organized relationship, like polygyny. Then everybody's like, oh, man, you dumb. But what about the woman who's sleeping around with multiple men calling it dates? So she doesn't even think she's promiscuous because, hey, she's on dates. One date to the next. And she has the right to sleep with whom she wants, which I agree is your right.
That's somebody.
Yeah, now people say, oh, I don't want to share him. Well, you share him with the white man when y'all going to work. You don't want to share him, though. Yeah, throw me some feedback, y'all, and I'll answer the things you have to ask. I'm down with answering. I want all the smoke. In fact, 2 days from now, I'm going to be on YouTube having this discussion. 2 days from now. This is just preemptive so I can get a pool of different ideas and notions that people have about it. Once I get a pool of it, then I'm going to be able to go in and say, okay, bet, I know what to do. I know what I must do now. But yeah, for me personally, I'm not the type. My sexual preference says I need multiple women in my life. And that's because of the science that I'm employing, because I know. Yeah, when I say the black woman is God, it doesn't contradict that. It's only time it sounds like that's contradictory is when you ascribe to me a meaning of God that I don't adhere to. And what's also interesting is the Muslims don't have the same disposition. The Muslims' God doesn't have the same disposition as a Hebrew Israelite God, as the same disposition as a Judaic God, as the same disposition as the Christian God. That's the same disposition of the Buddhists. But when I say God, it has to fit your definition. But everybody else gets a different delegation of responsibility for their God. When I talk about my God, oh, she bleed every month. When I talk about the black woman as my God, you say things like, oh, if she's your God, then how come you need multiple? Because I believe in multiple gods. You see, if we want to play silly here, we could do it. I'll dance with you. I don't mind, but I'm still going to give you straight and direct answers. If you want to be like that. All right? He said, I have one wife and it feels like multiple wives. I totally understand that too. Shit, sometimes I want to triple up and say I got 12. I understand. I understand totally. Okay? Not for me. Multiple wives seems exhausting. It would only be exhausting if you're dealing with low-frequency women. That's the problem. If you're dealing with low-frequency women, if you're constantly engaging women, you see, that's the thing. multiple wives doesn't really work out for people in terms of consistency if you're dealing with women that's not that sharp. It's very much the opposite of what people think. People think, oh, the women must be dumb and they just sitting there waiting to have sex. That's what people be really thinking in their head, and it's sad that you don't give women that much credit. It actually takes a great deal of mental fortitude, a great deal of high self-esteem. Everything that people like to tell you about having multiple wives and the women thereof, it actually happens to be the most opposite of popular opinion. The women actually have to have strong mentalities. They actually have to be very educated. I'm talking about in order for it to work. I ain't talking about with the people where it don't work. Now, I'm licensed to say I have the right to tell you about it because I've been doing this for as long as my youngest daughter. I've been doing this for as long as my second youngest daughter has been alive. Because I got my second wife, which we call our first wife, when my daughter was 7 months in the womb. About 7 months in the womb is when I got my second wife, Ra'et. Aminette was having Ma'at. And when Aminette was having Ma'at, that's when I got my second wife, Ra'et. So, my relationship with, as far as me having 4 wives, I've been with the 4 women for as long as my 12-year-old daughter has been alive, plus 2 months in that womb. Yeah, and she's turning 13 this year. So I've been with 4 of my wives for 13 years. I've been with my first wife for 21 years. We've been together since 12 and 13 years old. It stands to reason that I may know what I'm talking about, people. I might just know what I'm talking about. And when you listen to the people that say, no, that's dumb. No, that's stupid. Then you have to ask them, how long was you in your relationship? You also have to ask them, are you even in a relationship? You also have to ask them, if they are in a relationship, how old is their relationship? You also have to ask them, in their relationship, if they don't mind, what is the collective income? And what is the income of the individual, particularly the woman? I'm always interested in her income. Reason being, because a lot of women subject to being economic slaves of the men that they're with. And when stuff goes to hell with the money, then the relationship goes to hell. But that's a whole nother conversation. Y'all always ask this, but I post these women all the time. It's just so weird. And depending on which woman I post, I always get asked, how come you don't post the other one? It's so weird. Because I post in cycles, or the woman that I'm working on business with most immediately, that's the one that I'm constantly posting. Right now I'm constantly posting Aminette because we're all expecting for that new baby. So that's our point of focus right now. Periodically I'll post one of the other sisters, but right now she's the point of focus. Everybody is doing their thing so we could deliver this child at home. So my wives will be present on deck when it's time for this child to be born, and they will be helping out. They will be assisting us. They will be aiding us, bringing this child through the vortex called the womb. We will not be using the hospital, people, under no circumstances. Let's make that part clear. And I will be delivering my child. The only man touching my child, the only entity touching my baby will be me. And I will be passing my baby to the mother. Facts. That's a fact. And you know, for the women that be like, shit, I need 4 husbands, like this woman just said. If it just dawned to you that you need 4 husbands because you heard somebody has 4 wives, that's a very irresponsible comment. I see it so much, and I'm like, yo, you see, this is why I don't like building about it, because people be thinking it's a joke. It's not a joke. We're talking about the restoration of our community. We're talking about the significance of having men on a level that can afford to facilitate a family. You hear what I'm saying? And if we talk about one person to one woman, let me show you the string. Yeah, he's good energy. Yeah, he's good energy. Let me tell you something about how this thing go with this one woman, one man thing. Right? If I've been together with 4 women for 13 years and 1 woman in that group for 21, because the women I've been with for as long as my 12-year-old daughter is about to turn 13. It gets weird.
the
It gets weird because I always ask, and I ask again, before someone can discredit me. I would always ask, are you presently in a relationship? I have to say it again because somebody just wrote something, so I'm responding to them. What about the tribes in Africa where the women have multiple men? I don't know nothing about that. That's not something I'm interested in. That's not something that I understand as far as developing the community. I'm a man. So my focal point as a man is how I am presently going to operate as a man, especially in this society. A lot of times polygyny was employed by families when the men had been forced to go to war. And if they became prisoners of war, they was murdered during the war, the widows would cleave to the family of another man. So let's give you one example right now. We're presently at war and in a state of war. And as I said, polygyny used to be employed when the mothers or the wives counterparts were going to fight a war. Facts. And so I say the black man and the black woman are still in a state of war. State of war in terms of education. A state of war when it comes to education. A state of war when it comes to health. A state of war when it comes to economics, commerce. So you look at health, commerce, spirituality, education, politics. We at war. And that war systematically destructs the black family, destroys the black family, disenfranchises the black family. And one of the focal points when I talk about this war against our people is to have the black man and the black woman in a gender-specific war. And so many of our men, because of this war, either don't have enough to provide for their family by design, are incarcerated, or engaging in a fratricidal war against each other. And there's already a disproportionate ratio. Don't get mad at me, get mad at God. Let me talk, since you want to bring up God, let's do this. I like this. Let's do this, since you want to bring up God, right? Why would God make more women than men if he wanted everybody to be monogamous? It's just a question now. Don't get in your feelings. Why would he make the ratio 13-1 in favor of women? Why would he do that? Ain't that crazy? Why would he do that? Unless women are destined to either be single, and whoever gets to be monogamous wins the lottery. And now if you add on the fratricidal war our brothers are in, effeminization, homosexuality, and prison incarceration, that 13-1 ratio is even more disproportionate. And this is all by your God's plan and design. So what do you suppose we do with our relationship disposition? We're going to tell God, well, I ain't sharing. See, y'all believe in God until you read in them scriptures that Solomon had 1,000 freaking women. Y'all just overlook that shit. Y'all overlook those chapters, don't you? Huh? Y'all be overlooking those chapters. Y'all don't like those chapters. God, you ain't God-fearing when you find out, right? Ancient scriptures tell you that the head of woman is the man and the head of man is Christ. Until that man show you the scripture where he got multiple wives. And you say, oh, that's outdated. The white man made new laws today. He calls it bigamy. Now you believe in the white man over your God, right? Y'all some convenient ass hustling people online, man. Y'all hustlers. So like I said, when there was wars and women's husbands went to war, if they died or became prisoners of war, they used to cleave on to another man's family. That was one of the reasons women were polygynous. And we're at war right now by way of the educational system, political system. Okay? All sorts of systems now. Educational, political, commercial, however you want to look at it. We at war. These are facts. All right? So I'm just asking you, as a point of contention, what's up? Oh, I'm just asking you as a point of contention, why would God make the ratio of men and women, men to women, so disproportionate? Why would they do that? My wives and I, we work together. I'm gonna tell you how my situation was. Let me tell you how my situation was. You out?
Yeah.
All right, baby, come. See you later.
Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you how my situation was, right? We was living in the projects, Brownsville houses.
My mom always gets out.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
My bad. We was living in Brownsville houses. And in Brownsville houses, my wives and I slept on the floor. Their moms used to come to the crib and be like, staring at everything, looking at everything, shitting on me. They used to be like, this nigga ain't shit. Literally, that's what they used to tell me. This nigga ain't shit. That's what the moms will all say, the mothers that came to the house. Because we didn't have furniture. We had sleeping bags. We didn't have furniture. We had sleeping bags. Think about that. Think about that. That's how deep it is.
Yeah. Okay. I was like,
That's how deep it is.
yeah.
And so, when you consider that, you have to say to yourselves, I understood where they was coming from. But when we told them we had a plan and how we was going to work together, nobody cared about that. All they knew was this. They was like, yo, why are all you women sleeping on the floor talking about you following Brother Polight's vision? Because I was in the projects and I'm like, I refuse to buy furniture. Because I said I'm not going to decorate a project apartment. There's no glory in that. So my furniture was the new laptops, the button machines, the heat transfer paper, shirt machines, you feel me? Book binding glue, printers. That's what our furniture was. The only people that was allowed to have furniture in our house was the children. They had the bunk beds. That's right. We didn't have no regular beds. We had the bunk. And we was in a 2-bedroom project, and we turned the living room to a bedroom by night. And you can make fun of me all you want, because today, all those women have their own crib. Long story short, today, all those women have their own crib. And their own job, their own income, their own resources. And guess what? They can leave at any given point because none of them are bums. So, how about that? Think about that empowerment, that the women now have their own businesses, earn their own income, so much so that if they chose to leave, and any apartment that we have or house is in their name, not mine. If it's theirs, it's theirs. So if they ever choose to leave, I would have to go because it's the crib's in their name. And not only is the crib in their name, they could afford the home. They could afford the home. Not like, damn, if I leave, oh shit, mortgage, foreclose time. So what I'm saying is, it may not be for you. Sex might be more your preference than organization. Sex might be more your preference than paying bills. You know, I understand that. I understand sex is a preference. Like, if we had to talk about get your house first or get your sex first, you wouldn't want to share your man because you got to have your sex first. I'm saying that's what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to have sex first. You know, you want to say men is thinking about sex all the time, but when I start talking about polygyny and how to employ it properly, you don't want to share. And when you say you don't want to share, you're talking about sex. I know exactly what you're talking about. Don't play games. You feel what I'm saying? You don't want to. I know what you mean. So what I'm saying is, I lived in the projects, Brownsville houses, with 4 women, and when their moms came over and they was like, where's that furniture? I'm like, oh, I was pointing at the laptop. I was pointing at the printer. I was pointing at the heat transfer papers. I was pointing at the shirt machine. I was pointing at the pen machine to create our own pins or buttons. That's what we did. And guess what? Today, when their mothers need money, guess who they talk to? The bum-ass nigga that they profess to be a bum-ass nigga. Who's that dude today? I'm that dude today. But back then, they just walked in and they was inspecting the house. The nerve of these women. I'm going to tell you, they was walking, inspecting the house like I was their man. And I'm going to tell you some other stuff, and this ain't a shot at their moms. Sidebar, let me make that clear. I'm not shooting at somebody's moms. I'll let you know when I'm shooting at. I ain't shooting at them now. Sidebar. And yeah, my wives watch my lives, so that's what it is. It is what it is. Sidebar, though, I'm going to tell you something else. A lot of black women, unfortunately, because of the lack of the culture. Let me explain something. I'm going to show you how it works, so you don't think I'm tripping. If a woman don't finish school, what's she gonna say? Think about the things that parents want their children to do.
No, I'm not gonna let it. Hold on.
Killing that. Think about it. No, I'm not telling you to share your husband, Shakira. I'm not telling him that. I'm not telling y'all to share your husband. I'm not telling you, and the people, a lot of people that say they're not going to share their husband don't even have a husband. That's what's crazy part. Women be like, yo, I'm not sharing my husband. I'm like, how long you been married? Well, I'm not married yet. Yo, I ain't trying to play you, but it's just that type of conversation. So watch this. A woman who didn't graduate high school, right? What she might tell her daughter when it comes to school, if she ain't finished.
Need it.
Well, that's a conscious woman, you know. But what's the average okie doke? You know, when we want our children to be better than us, if the woman didn't finish high school,
She's gonna tell her daughter to finish.
at least finish high school.
Right.
If the woman did finish high school, she probably gonna tell her daughter what? Probably go to college.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And so we see in almost every facet of life, right? If the mother feels that she failed or did pretty good, she always going to tell her daughter do that much more.
Right.
Except for what? When her relationship doesn't work out. How many times does the mother say, find you a better man? Or say, don't trust these niggas. Be independent. Don't ever have him out there. Don't ever let him put you in this space. Don't let him. They'll teach you more negative doctrine about your future husband than they will say, you know what? I want you to get a better situation than mine.
Right.
They don't never say get a better. If the mother don't finish school, she says at least get GED or high school diploma. If the mother finish high school, she be like at least go to college. But if the mother doesn't succeed in having a relationship, she tells you watch out for those niggas. She don't say make sure you get a better man than I got. She says watch out for him. You feel what I'm saying? So what that tell you? They want the best for you until it becomes about relationships. And why is that? And I'm not saying that's all women. I'm not saying that's every woman. I'm saying that's happening too much in the black community. And y'all, if y'all sit there and be honest, you can tell yourself, your mama wanted everything better for you except for your relationship. I'm talking some real shit. Because the people giving you advice about relationships coming from a bitter standpoint. They're coming from a bitter standpoint.
Yeah, she's so bad.
A man can't satisfy a woman. A man can't satisfy many women. He just thinks he can. You know what's so funny about that? You know, Sean Riley. I wish I could bring you into the live. Sean Riley says a man can't satisfy. Sean Riley says a man can't satisfy multiple women. He just think he can. So we just gonna disregard. I've been doing this for 12 years, going on 13 years straight.
I knew you was gonna say that right now, at this very moment.
You just gonna decide that it's not happening, even though it is. What's up, baby?
What's up?
Go ahead. Ask the next question you think you dropping on me. Oh, so you want your daughter to be part of it? And I always tell people. I always tell people when it comes to my daughters, because I have nothing but female children.
I always respect people put shit together, but I don't.
When it comes to my daughters, I never raise my daughters to be in any type of relationship.
I would wear the whole outfit.
You know,
I like how you said it.
you know what my responsibility is as a father
It's the color.
of any type of children, but all my children are females. My job is to make sure they have the educational tools and resources to thrive so they can make decisions for themselves when they get older. My job as a parent It's not the mother's job and it's not the father's job to tell my daughter how to go out there and get them a relationship of my choice. That's not my job. Furthermore, I believe a lot of men behave like their daughters is their girlfriend, and they feel like they taking an L if their daughter or older daughter winds up getting into a relationship and it's sexual. It's like the man feel like his it's like the man feel like his girl is cheating on him. I'm not into none of that. I'm not into none of that. To the contrary, in my opinion, in my version of raising my children, my job is to teach them math, teach them science, get them into competitive sports and scenarios, give them brain teasers, games that stimulate their mind and interest, make them have to think. Okay, make sure they know how to play instruments.
Have you learned any songs?
Make sure they have the opportunity to play with other children and understand the difference between the way I'm raising them and how other parents have raised their children when it's necessary.
You can look on YouTube.
And to teach them about their history. See, by the time I teach my children about their history, math, science, language, spirituality, by the time I teach my children about economics, politics, by the time they become adults, they'll know how to make their own decisions for themselves. And I'll be able to respect that. But if I put my children out here into a world and know that I didn't make my best effort to educate them, then I failed as a parent, and I'm gonna need to tell them how they should feel about relationships. Me thinking about relationships for my children is none of my business. I think that's the mind of a pedophile. If my children are 8 years old and 12 years old, my job is math and science. My job is get them in competitive sports, put them in competition. My job is to teach them knowledge of self, teach them about history. My job is to teach them about biology. I homeschool my children. That's my job. And guess what? By the time they become 17, 18 years old, they should be able to definitively conclude what type of relationship they should be in, having watched the way their mother interface with the father. That's it. That's it. I'm not interested in teaching my child the way to get into a relationship. What I'm gonna do? And if most of you teach your children how to get in relationships, you're gonna teach your children based on the fears that you have adopted from the flawed relationship endeavors. Who's to say your children are gonna make the same bad mistakes, bad decision making that you made? Y'all so hurt relationship wise. It's like, yo, but what about the children? My daughters would be good. I got full confidence that I'm equipping them with the knowledge to make decisions for themselves. So that's the answer when it comes to if I'm gonna allow my daughters to be in a polygynous relationship. It's not about me allowing them to be in anything. This is the lifestyle I choose to live in. Okay? And what many of y'all don't know, you can't be in a successful polygynous relationship unless you can be in a successful monogamous relationship. So what you call in poly is multiple monos. What you call in poly is multiple monos. I'll say it again. What you call in poly is multiple monos. You can't be in a successful polygynous relationship unless you know how to be successfully monogamous. So for those you monogamous people bragging, I know what you're talking about. Because each one of them is a monogamous relationship. I just have them all going on at the same time. And guess what? When your wife out there working for the white man's in a relationship with her. And he's paying child support when he cut her check. How about that? You in a polygynous relationship whether you realize it or not. You and your man and the white man. You having an affair with the white man when you go work for him. In fact, your wife spend more hours with that white man than he do with his own woman, because by the time y'all get home, y'all both tired. Then y'all got your own outside responsibilities to deal with. So let's do the math. When you go to work, you at least going to 9 to 5 or something, that's 8 hours. You go to work, it's probably an hour. You come back from work, it's probably an hour, that's 10 hours. They say we should sleep 8 hours a day, but you probably sleep 6. Granted, that's 16 hours. That's 2/3 of your lifetime. The rest of your 1/3, what do you have to do? Read, meditate, pray, study, socialize, engage in your relationship, cook, clean, wash your behind. Watch this. You're going to have to subtract some of those things. What are you going to subtract? Most people subtract reading, studying, meditating, introspection. You feel what I'm saying? And all they can do is have sex at that particular point. On their free time or go somewhere to meet people where they could potentially have sex. The club. or go to sleep, or run around and catch up with stuff. So 1/3 of your time, of your day, is not enough time to allocate towards the things that you need to do to be whole. I was debating with a woman last night. I wish Aminette was with me right now. And I said, yo, you're not whole until you have a man. What about a man? And I was like, he's not whole until he has a woman. And so I said something like this. I said, when you think about a strong black woman, what do you think about? You know, I'm like, do you think about a woman with some huge calves? What'd you think about? Do you think about a woman with big muscles?
I'm not necessarily scared.
What'd you think about?
At this point. I'm more so like, bro, I can
When you think about a strong black woman, you think about a woman that is probably divorced or single with a child. That's a fact. And that's on the average. That's not a lot. And when you think about a good black man, you think about a man who's actually taking care of his children and probably still dealing with the mother. But when you think about a strong black woman, you don't think about a woman with huge calves. You don't think about a woman with big muscles. When you hear a strong black woman, in context, you be thinking, the first thing coming in your head, this is a woman who's divorced or single, but she got a child or children. So what do we call the woman? What's up, King? What do we call the woman that stays in the relationship with a man? If the strong black woman is the woman who is single with children, then what the hell do you call the woman who stayed in a relationship? The weak woman? And quiet is kept. That's what we say and teach in our community. That the woman who stays in a relationship, she weak. She working with that nigga. She working with that man. That's what we be really teaching on the low. I told the sister yesterday, Aminette would tell you, when we do the YouTube version to this, because this is just preemptive, so I can fill you guys out and read y'all questions, so we could address it, and so I could bring people into the forum, because I want to hear the lunacy. And I guarantee you, I will body men and women on the subject matter. I'm not even giving you the goods right now. I got it mathematically. I got it scientifically. For those women that, for those women that's like, yo, what about multiple men? First of all, again, let's go back to the beginning of this video. I know several women that have the luxury of going on dates, sleeping with multiple men, and they don't feel they're being promiscuous because they're on dates. So no one says those are whores or those are harlots, because those are just dates, and they can decide what they have the right to do with their body. Up until the point where some women say, well, you know what, I'm dealing with this one dude and we're in a relationship. Now that becomes nasty. Now it becomes disgusting. But how much women we got out here? You think all these sisters with no man is celibate? Or they're having sex at their leisure, failing to commit and be in a relationship? See, to me, a strong black woman is a woman that's in a relationship. I changed that whole narrative. I'm not squatting or saying nothing negative about single mothers. I know you guys have to work hard, but it don't mean you are. I'm not part of that stupid conversation. I refuse. I refuse, because we got this thing in our head that just because a woman is single with children, she's a strong black woman. I disagree. It takes a strong woman to stay in a relationship, especially for the sake of the children. Take a strong woman to encourage the men that she deals with to become greater. My wife told me to read or leave. When a man really want to be with a woman, he gonna make the adjustments. Unless that woman drives him crazy. Or she's starting to go nuts. But we ain't gonna talk about those scenarios. If a man really is interested in a woman, he gonna make the adjustments. If she like, look, I want you to be teaching like that brother be teaching, son is gonna start picking up books if he's interested in that woman.
I seen dudes make the crazy adjustments. What you talking about?
Yo, I lost a lot of friends in my video game era. When they fell in love with women, they stopped showing up for the 2K battles. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. They stopped showing up for the 2K battles because that woman got his attention. But what does the woman do with that attention? When the woman gets that attention, you know what she want to do? She just want to go out to restaurants and eat. She want to go to the movies. She want to have sex. And that shit is trash after a while. Nigga wrote 100. Y'all funny. That's trash after a while. That's trash. Tell him Baltimore in the house.
Like that or more like?
Queen. Said Baltimore in the house.
That's the word in the street when they ain't expecting everybody to
Y'all
come with
niggas got the
wild
emojis
ones.
for days. It's like I told them, send me an emoji that go with this. Yeah, so you feel me? Men are gonna make the adjustment. So for me, I'm telling you personally that I feel like I would be in a prison if I was subject to only being with one woman, because I personally know what I get. And what y'all don't understand, some of the women I be with, I don't even gotta have sex with them. I just need them around me. I like a woman's hug. I like a woman's touch. I like her attention on me. I like to be doing whatever I'm doing and a woman sitting there just admiring how I do what I do. I like that. Now you may say, oh, this nigga conceited. Oh, he think he all of that. You can get mad at it, but at least I'm honest about what I want, and I find people on the planet that's compatible with my sexual preference. Someone's compatible for everybody out here. I'm compatible. I find women that's compatible, and as far I find a woman that don't mind 2 or 3 of them while I'm showering. One massaging my head, other one cutting my nails, other one washing me up. Now, if you ever experienced that as a man, you ain't never going back. You feel me? You ain't never going back, because you're going to be like, yo, there's only 2 hands here. It's just a fact. You know what I'm saying?
You're using both of them.
and your one wife probably ain't even washing you up any damn way. You might, yo, I ain't washing no nigga up. What you think this is? See, that's that masculine weirdo stuff. And I don't want the masculine weirdo woman. So don't think I'm petitioning to you so you can curse me out. Never curse me out, because I'm not petitioning to you. And guess what? I serve and I honor my women in my ways. I work mad hard for the women that I'm with. I work super hard, because I want to make it unparalleled to what other people be on. But what I know I got in my back pocket, I work with the women. I work with the women that love knowledge. That's who I deal with. I got a sapiosexual situation going on with the women. If we can't orgasmically, if we can't have a mental orgasm, I don't need to deal with her. So believe it or not, a lot of those video vixens and booty models you see online that you be seeing me with, guess what? When y'all be trashing me for being with them, guess what? Those women show their body so much, they done heard everything from a man but the knowledge. So by the time I be doing my thing, they be the ones following me. And I be loving their body and all of that. But you know what be turning me on? The fact that they got that body, because I love the body, so I ain't gonna lie to you. The fact they got that body, and they can drop the knowledge on the pH scale and the alkalinity and acidity, and yo, I've been watching your video, I be watching, I be building, I promise you, I can build with those sisters for about 15-20 minutes and give them a mental orgasm. It's sapiosexual. I promise you that. And if I can't give a woman a mental orgasm, that means she's impotent mentally. You see how women be wanting a man to be able to get up when it's time to have sex? I want a woman to get up when it's time to do the knowledge. I want a woman to go through her own mental erection when I'm dealing with the knowledge, to the point she's splashing mentally. Like, oh, her neurons is on fire, it's exploding. Because when I know she's on that, oh, we gonna be good for a lifetime. She loved the knowledge, I like to study. It's eventually gonna be an exchange, because when I'm going, she gonna be studying. She be like, yo, I was looking up what you said, boom. And I'm like, yo, where the fuck you got that from? That's ill. That happens mad times. So magic and knowledge is synonymous. They run concurrent. So I want to have a woman splashing mentally. Y'all be wanting a woman squirt, put an apple on her vagina and pop it out. Y'all niggas be loving that. You feel what I'm saying? I be, well, I said, well, kind of.
Plum.
You said plum.
Not an apple. That's too big.
Maybe a pear.
Maybe a nectarine.
You know, and I get it. Niggas like to be sloppy and wild and reckless, but what I'm telling you is this. You know what's infinite? Knowledge is infinite. You are never going to run out of that. You could run out of an erection and have to reload. But if you're a spiritual master, you ain't gonna run out of knowledge. And if that woman's with you because she loves the knowledge, it's a wrap. If that woman's with you and she loves the knowledge, it's a wrap. Y'all there for a lifetime.
Some of them got it.
Yes, Stacy. Thank you, Stacy. Because that shit is corny for men and women where you got somebody you physically attracted to and you gotta look at they dumb ass every day like, shit. They almost like a piece of meat at that point. Like, damn, you ain't got nothing in your mind? Then you start talking to them like they stupid after a while and hurting their feelings by accident because it's like, yo, they not studying while you studying, so they can't compete. So when you stay with somebody that's attractive and you think they dumb as a brick, it turns you off and it makes you feel away. Right? Like, so, like HD, if you ever been with a woman that you say, man, she bad, she look beautiful, everything, and you bagged her. You like, yo, I made it to the top. I'm talking about the younger version of you. I don't expect you to think this way now, but I do expect you to probably feel the same way on circumstance. So you get with this woman, she voluptuous, everything. She's everything you like, her complexion, her ass, her titties, all of that, right? And then after 2-3 months, you realize, in your opinion, I don't want to disrespect people, but in your opinion, whatever you use to call a woman slow or stupid, no matter how attractive you was to her, you start even getting annoyed like, yo, what the fuck?
Right.
Yo, why the fuck you did it that way?
She mentally trash.
You start even talking to her kind of condescendingly, and you not that type of person. But while you with her, you starting to be toxic yourself because you just so frustrated that the way she even respond to adversity, like in conversations where there's a debate, you like, damn, like you ain't even using no form of logic to get your point across. Okay. So don't that become the thing where no matter how pretty she is, after a while you just be saying, she start looking ugly to you?
Yeah.
And it's almost like you rebuking her.
Man, you be trying to, listen, the most beautiful girls in the world be getting their hearts broke every day.
Right.
Why is that?
Niggas be getting the fuck away. Because
I think everybody chasing the wrong person.
I
feel like they're chasing
the crazy thing is, you do have to establish an energy base foundation where you attract the right people, and
everyone's smart in their own way.
People, they'll never get close enough to you when your energy is in the right way. But when you're looking for the wrong things in the people, like when you don't seek that mental stimulation, when you don't seek that, you tend to attract women that don't even possess it. So they may have the physical aesthetic that's powerful and draws you in and makes you all it makes
real
you
talk.
Almost overlook the fact that they are mentally lacking in so many areas. But after a while, it's like it's something about a man that he will just be out. But I know women that will be with men.
A dumb brick.
Check this out. Let me tell you that.
Women that will stay with a dumb brick. Let's just keep it 100.
Watch this. Let me tell you how cold it is. Watch this.
This shit getting good.
Yo, watch this.
Yo, hold on. They like, damn, Polite, damn. Nah, yo, y'all know there's some dumb bricks out here. I'm proud to be black, but there's some bricks out here.
Nah, I got something for you. Watch this. So a girl tweeted out.
And you be two bricks get together, they start building a project amongst each other. But go ahead.
So a young lady tweeted out, niggas be out here fucking bitches that they don't even like. Yep. I'm just quoting.
Hey.
Wait.
Yo, I agree. Go ahead.
Nobody advanced this.
All right. We got you.
And I'm quoting this because I don't want you to think I'm calling.
Nah, I'm rocking.
I'm telling them.
Okay.
I'm quoting this because I don't want you to think I'm calling sisters bitches.
Oh, yeah, all right.
A young lady said, niggas just be out here fucking bitches that they don't even like. So I retweeted with a comment and said, damn, so you mean to tell me women is having sex with men that don't even like them? Like,
interesting.
Because you got to think about it. She was trying to degrade men.
Yes.
And say, niggas just don't fuck any girl. They fuck girls they don't even like. I'm like, damn, if a dude can have sex with a woman that he don't even like, that means a woman having sex with a man that don't even like her. Like, it got to be...
You're saying it, yep.
It got to be a higher level of accountability. What I'm saying is, a woman
that's a
will
fact.
deal in a relationship with a man that don't even like her. But a man will be around a woman that if it don't appease him in a certain way, he'll get up out of there, man.
Hey, this person said, ask you about your chick's father. I guess that's supposed to mean something. I'm going to tell him elaborate, but I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Now, another person asks you, how can we get out of this cycle we have been programmed to? That one is to you, because they wrote King.
I mean... everything starts from within. Like that's the answer to everything. Ain't nothing on the outside. Everything on the outside is just a confirmation that it was really on the inside to begin with. So once you start changing who you are from within, everything without, which is around you, will change. Because if you don't find yourself within, then you're going to find yourself without. And you don't want to end up without, you want to always be within. So everything that you want, you got to establish it within first.
They said,
and it's going to manifest itself on in the physical realm.
Lene said, well, how does she know he doesn't like her? Like, in other words, he don't like her, but what's to say that she don't even recognize the fact?
If a man don't like a woman, he'll eventually be gone, or he'll be doing her super duper dirty. Period, point blank. Like, everybody else sees the signs.
That's true. That's true.
Like, everybody will tell you. Like, you might have even told one of your girlfriends before, like, why you with him?
Right.
So...
But you know, that's a catch-22, because some women just... I would say most women that do that is sad and disappointed about their own situation. And I would rather a woman in a relationship do that. And not only in a relationship that she's happy in.
Well, we know that's being done on a daily. So it's a lot of signs, man. But if you're not right with yourself, you ain't gonna never know what's going on. You shouldn't even be in a relationship until you got knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? That independence, that stability within. You shouldn't even be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Till you build up equity of self, you shouldn't be in a partnership. Shouldn't. Because that means you only going to bring your 30% to the table and be mad that somebody else got 70.
So this person said, so basically there's no signs.
Yeah, it's the feelings that you have within. Just the same way you can drive down a block and you can get an eerie feeling and you like, man, I shouldn't be in this neighborhood, or I shouldn't be here. It's more like that. It's more like you got to trust yourself from within. It ain't you looking at the other person waiting for something to be reciprocated that you're not getting back. It's about within. It don't got nothing to do with the other person. It got to do with how well your discernment works. Got nothing to do with the other person. Y'all sharing an experience. There's no ownership of people.
So Derek said, dude will leave, but women is scared to be alone. I'll tell you this. Men be scared to be alone too. It shows in their behavior pattern as well. Don't nobody want to be alone. That's a human trait until we elevate.
Some niggas be scared to be alone, so they be with 70 niggas. It ain't always a man just being with a woman because he's scared to be alone.
Some
of them dudes you see with all these niggas,
the way they demonstrate.
What is y'all doing? Like, what is going on with all these 50 dudes, man?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So, I think nobody wants to be alone, and so people kind of keep somebody in their life. And that's why a lot of times when people break up, they already have somebody that they walking right into.
Bro, walking right into the bullshit again.
Right.
Because all somebody else was doing the whole time was pacifying your dumb ass and blowing smoke up your ass. Now you thinking this person is so much better than the nigga you with. But actually, sometimes, majority
I would say
of the time,
most times, I know where you going. Go ahead.
The nigga that you with just know you ain't shit. And he not shit enough to leave your ass. And that's the people we talking about, the whole dichotomy of the bullshit. You got to get up out of that yourself. It's from within. Once you can realize that, yo, you on some bullshit for not telling me that I'm not worthy and I'm not living up to your standards. It's so funny how a woman can tell me, oh, that's weird. I've never heard of that. No one's ever told me that. No one's ever told you because they're not willing to tell you the truth. And if they're not willing to tell you the truth, you should discontinue your friendship with them and be like, yo, I respect you even more, King, for telling me some shit. But 9 times out of 10, chicks get at me and start shooting at me like I'm tripping for telling you something.
Or like you trying to control them.
How am I controlling you with giving you the information to
I know what you be hearing. Because I know how it go. I know how the game go.
I'm trying to control you all day because I'm giving you the knowledge.
Because the dude with the knowledge is always accused of attempting to control people's situation.
It's 2019. We still thinking like everybody's supposed to give somebody the answers, man. You know the answers. You just blinding yourself and you don't want to see the truth. You ain't shit. You're keeping somebody on the side and you going right into the next bullshit situation because you want somebody to coddle and pacify your ass.
Niggas, we don't elevate, and that's why parents, they need to teach their children critical thinking. Not teach them based on their previous relationship circumstances, because chances are they probably went into their relationship all on that weird, non-regulated, lack of cultural weight. We don't want to be on that low frequency vibe. We got to raise our children on a high frequency. We damn near raising our children on some, yo, be careful of that other gender. Be careful of the men of your race. Be careful of the women of your race. These men ain't, nah, we got to keep them from that. If we just educate them to make right choices, if we challenge them to be critical thinkers. Like I said, if we actually made them play games where they can practice thinking, I'm telling you, this solves most of all the problems. If we challenge our children to think continuously, day in and day out, not just send them to school. Let them learn how to play real instruments. Let them get what they call math problems, reading problems. We don't call it problems in our house, okay? Yeah, word. Let them learn by going to museums constantly. Let them read to you stories and make them change, alter their personality so they can articulate and enunciate in such a way like they do in the play. Get them into the arts. Okay, have them study the mind, have them study sociology, have them study psychology, have them study the 16 different personality types, have them study what a sigma is, what a beta is, what an alpha is, like sigma male, beta male, alpha male, same thing with the women. Now I know many of you don't even know what a sigma male is. You heard of alpha male and beta male, that's the only thing they tell you. They don't tell you about omega, zeta, sigma, okay? Have them be able to identify personality types because it'll be easier for them to maneuver in this lifetime if they do. You know? Because the men and women of our race are great people that's just been poorly educated about how to interface with each other. And those are facts. We just poorly. We have little to no education on how to interface with each other, how to get together, and how to properly break apart. How to understand that we don't necessarily have to be with each other for a lifetime. Sometimes we're here for an experience. We should appreciate that and leave peacefully and honorably instead of, I'm going to give you hell when I leave to make sure you have hell in your next relationship until I finally move on. And you got some people, they got their relationship going, but they still want to give you hell in theirs. And that's why I'd be sad for the children, because people be using the children and manipulating them. But this was just a precursor for the I feel like I'm in prison if I only had one wife. That's going to be the name of that stream 2 days from now. Be prepared. I'm going to do a lot of knowledge with it.
So they could come Saturday because they out of town.
But it's not, I'm not doing this to convert anybody. I'm not looking to convert anybody whatsoever. The information I'm going to provide can be made applicable for people that's single as well. That's the level of information I'm coming with. Why you keep asking me that? Again, you want several wives. What if she wants several men? Then she can go and have a relationship with several men. That's not the relationship type that I'm in. There's different types of relationship. If a person is monogamous, what I look like, you see, this is wild. See, that question is wild. If a person is in a monogamous relationship, what I look like going and asking a woman, well, yo, what if your man wants to be with another woman? That'd be disrespectful. The relationship type says one man, one woman. That's the type of relationship they're in. So why ask me, what if my wife wants to be with another man? If she wants to be with another man, she has to get out of this relationship type and she has to go in another relationship type because there's no space for that in this relationship type. There are different types of relationships. Stop being so small-minded and see it for what it is. You feel me? People always ask me that. Hey, yo, how would you feel if someone said, it's just you and your wife, right? And a dude pull up and be like, yo, how'd you feel she want to get another man, though? It would seem weird, because if you're in a monogamous relationship, the rules of engagement is one man, one woman, right? So when people ask me, what if one of my wives want to be with a man or have multiple husbands, that's not this type of relationship type. This is called polygyny. One man, multiple women.
Right, right.
That's not that type of relationship. So asking me that, it's like you think you're saying something, but you're not. It's like, it's so hard for this to register. It's crazy. It's like, everyone signed up for this. I'm not forcing no one to be part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be making it sound like, but what if she wants to go?
Just change the...
Yo, but I know she want to be with someone. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
There's people in monogamous relationships that you probably can say, well, I know they want to be with somebody. So it is what it is. You gotta get in tune with this knowledge and understand perspective and appreciate people's ability to do something other than what you would do. Love y'all the same. That's what I'm saying. A lot of women are just having sex with multiple people. They just calling it dating. Right, H? A lot of women is having sex with multiple dudes, but they just calling it dating.
Oh yeah, and they still giving themselves a psychosis.
They purposely are not getting involved in relationships and thinking they're not being promiscuous because they're dating several times a month and several months a year.
And then get mad at
saying,
you.
none of these guys are good for me.
Yo, but check
None of them are good.
And then if you do decide to make anything more serious than what they've been trying to make it, oh, you're a tripper. You have a,
you're trying to control them.
Yeah.
Again,
like,
peace.
it's the psychosis, giving yourself this displacement. I don't know where everyone gets all this.
People don't even realize a lot of brothers be wanting to be in real relationships and be consistent.
Right. Nah, women took that from me a long time ago. That's the problem.
What do you mean? You said a woman took that from you.
Women don't understand that they're the reason why everything exists. So
Facts.
if they would take a second and understand that you took this out of me, you not being loyal, you not showing any type of growth or wanting to grow, you wanting to take 3 years after we break up every girlfriend I've ever had and come back and be like, you know what? You were so right. I wish I would have just listened. Now I got to keep being a victim of your lack of understanding and your lack of knowledge and your lack of growth. I'm not going to fall victim to that. I'm better off having multiple women at a time forever until they decide to choose up. And then I'm going to decide if you was worthy the whole time or if you was just waiting for me to look the right part and not being able to see my glow the whole time. I've been balling along. I tell every shorty, bro, I've been balling for a minute. So this ain't nothing new. You're going to see the ups and the downs.
That's a fact.
What you're around for right now is what you see. You think you're going to see that later? That's on you. I don't know.
My man ain't never lied.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to give you the keys to my fucking box. I'm not about to give you the code to the street.
Love you too, baby.
Especially if your last dude wasn't doing anything for you. Well, I'm about to give you everything. You ain't that special.
You see, that's somebody asks, is having a relationship more important than gaining consciousness first?
No, that's the problem.
That's exactly what I was going to say. No. We're on the same level.
Be in a relationship in order to
trying to find themselves through other people. Vicariously. Yeah.
That's why me having a brain tumor, my dad being in the Rampart scandal, my mom and my dad both smoking dope, made me decide that I have to be who I am. Everybody else is just a little drop of that. You ain't got nothing to do with your
Real
parents.
talk.
It's just your parents.
Real talk.
And you're not still shifting me at 33.
Real talk.
I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take responsibility for that. Shape yourself.
This
Stop trying to
nigga.
allow everybody else to shape you.
This Negro, if you have a son, educate him to not follow your steps like having 2 wives. First of all, I got 4. And there you go. I think you just missed the whole premise of this whole conversation. But yo, I'ma check y'all. Me having multiple women makes me look weak. I don't know what you mean by weak. I've seen men not be able to take care of themselves and be in relationships with women. I don't know what you call that. Or what you call the women that's out there with several baby fathers and no relationship. See, I'm not calling them weak, but I'm saying if you're calling me weak and I'm in a stable, consistent relationship with several women, by your standard, there's a lot of weak shit going on. Because if you're calling my situation weak and my relationship has been consistent, I've never had a breakup with any of the women. And that's all right if there is a breakup, but I never had one with any of the women. And all my children have their mother and father in their lives and extra support. The sister wives, which my children consider to be their mothers as well. But they know who their mother is, biologically. If you're calling that weak, that system weak, what do you call the women who's just out here with multiple baby fathers and no relationship? Multiple baby fathers and a relationship. Single, no relationship. What do you call that? That's weak too? See, we want to disrespect people who don't see it in our light. Now, I'm not calling those people weak. Make that clear. Because things do happen, and sometimes we get involved. We're lacking in culture. We wasn't raised in a cultural process. Nobody really executed properly when it came to us being edified. So we made a lot of decisions that in our older age we wouldn't make no more. And by that time, a lot of us already made children. So I totally understand it. That's why I wouldn't call nobody's situation. I wouldn't call no one weak because of the present situation they live in. But I love y'all. Let me get out of here. I gotta spend some time with my oldest daughter. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace out. Peace out. Peace out.